everybody. Again, welcome to Beyond the Mic podcast. De nuevo, bienvenidos. Mi nombre es Francisco Romero. We have another great episode of Beyond the Mic. And this time, we have a special guest, a very, very special guest, a success story, one that inspires a lot of people. It inspires me. I got to know our guest, Joey Medina. We were never friends or anything like that, but I got to see him in action when he was first starting his career. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Joey Medina to our podcast, Beyond the Mic. Más el micrófono. Joey, first of all, thank you so much. I know you're very busy, and I don't know if to say I feel lucky, I feel honored for you to be in our podcast. Joey, ¿cómo estás? How are you, Joey?
Brother, my pleasure.
It is great to have you here. As I said in the introduction, I got to see you, got to see firsthand when you were first starting back in the day in Tucson, Arizona. I was one of those young people who was bar hopping all the time. And then I got one day we were at the Walker House, and there's Joey, and somebody asked you with the radio station. I think it was Tejano 1600, and Joey Medina was there
It's
entertaining us.
probably the manic Hispanic, because I used to work with the manic Hispanic, and that's
Yeah,
my
Manic
boy. I
Hispanic.
love, yeah, I love him to death, man. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I think it was you and Manic Hispanic doing some stuff, but man, you've come a long way. You've had a successful career, and I just want to say I'm very proud of you. Uh,
Thank you.
I've been my view it has been from far away, but I followed your career, and it has been great. First of all, how are you, Joey? How are you doing? Where are you at?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you. I'm home. I'm in my house. I live in Los Angeles. I live near Venice, California, and just chilling, just being busy. And but even when I'm home, I'm still busy. I'm still always working on projects and doing things. I just shot another movie last week, and I'm doing the editing for it now. So, I'm always busy.
I told my daughter that my daughter's 18 that I was interviewing you, that I was going to have you as a guest on my podcast. She didn't believe me, man. So she's watching. Really,
Hi,
Joey?
mija. Hi, mija.
Isabella, yeah. So yeah, Isabella is great, and she didn't believe me. And you know what? I didn't know how much she knew about you. So, Dad, ask him this and ask him that, and
Thank you,
so
Isabella.
so the kids, the younger generation knows about you. But let's start with let's start from the beginning, Joey. You're Puerto Rican, huh? Eres puertorriqueño, or de descendencia puertorriqueña. You were born in the Bronx, so you're a New Yorican.
New Eurekan, yeah, there you go. I was born in the Bronx, New York. I moved to Tucson when I was 19, and it was a big culture shock. I grew up in the South Bronx in New York, where I didn't know. First time I ever saw a cactus, the first time I ever saw a tumbleweed was in Tucson, Arizona, right? So, and and then the funny thing was, I went to the Desert Museum because I wanted to learn more. And I'm thinking to myself, everything in this museum is outside for free. Why they even have a museum? Like, that is so
You're the
weird.
animal, huh?
Yeah, yeah, all the animals, they had a cactus in the museum. Do you believe that? And then and then another thing was happening. My uncle lived in Tucson, so that's how I ended up in Tucson. But I was driving his car one day, and I'm looking at the desert, I'm looking at all this stuff, and I hit a roadrunner. A roadrunner ran in front of my car, and I hit it, and I felt horrible, right? Because I killed this poor roadrunner. But then I started laughing. I'm like, Wile E. Coyote's been trying to do the same thing for 85 years. And I
Joey
did it
Medina,
on my first try. Like,
Joey Medina
yeah.
from the Bronx comes in and
Yeah. I
for
guess,
road.
instead of bombs, all he needed was a Toyota.
That's pretty cool, man. Hey, but let's go back a little bit to your boxing career, man. That's how I knew who you were because my buddy Nico Perez, you fought him a
Oh,
couple
yeah,
times.
yeah. Yeah, we fought a couple times. They got robbed. But anyway, it's a long story.
Yeah, it happens in boxing from time to
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
So, what do you think of the Mike Tyson fight this weekend?
Oh, that was a very interesting event. It was, I don't, some people saying that Mike should have easily beat him. Jake Paul isn't that good of a fighter. You could see he drops his arms. He's not. He he it's almost like he does an impression of a boxer. You
Exactly.
know what I mean? He doesn't look and feel like a real boxer. Mike Tyson, if he would have thrown a punch in the fight, which he did not, he would have landed and knocked him out. It's just, you know, but look, very close. I'm actually a year older than Mike, so I understand. Sometimes your age is like, that's all I got, man. That's all I got. And and if that's true, if that's all he had, he still did so much better than most 58-year-old men.
Yes.
So, you know, he did a great. He looked good. He kept his hands up. I just wish he would have thrown punches because he probably would have landed. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. One of those punches will just knock you down, man. Hey, so
yeah.
boxing took you to Tucson?
Yeah, boxing. I started amateur. I started amateur boxing at 13 years old. I turned pro at 19 in Tucson.
Oh wow. Who were you training with?
Rick Chili was my trainer, and then I had a promoter, and so you know it was. I had different people working with me, but I loved. My uncle was Carlos Rodriguez. Carlos Rodriguez in Tucson. He was first of all Mr. Universe in bodybuilding, and he owned a gym called Sports World Fitness Center.
I
And
remember.
I lived in the gym
Wow.
while I was when I first moved there because I needed. He lived in Marana, and I needed to live close so I can go to the gym and stuff. And so I lived in his gym. I lived on a lounge, a beach lounge chair, and my table was an ironing board, which is also my ironing board. But I also had like a hot plate to cook on. Like it was, I was basically homeless, but I was living in a gym.
Wow, that's a good story, man. So you got to know Beto Martinez and all that crew,
Yes,
and
yes.
so Beto
Joe
was
Quinlan was my promoter. Beto Martinez was one of my trainers, and he trained with me on my later fights, and I fought his fighters in the earlier fights. But Beto Martinez was great. He's a legend in in Tucson boxing.
no, he's a legend in boxing. Actually, I think he was a comment for Julio Cesar Chavez, some of Julio
Yeah,
Cesar's fights.
yeah,
So
yeah,
he was well known around the world in the boxing. I
yeah.
mean, the boxing
Absolutely,
everywhere.
absolutely,
So then
absolutely.
boxing took you to Tucson. You had some good fights, man. You had some good knockouts. I mean, not just because I'm talking to you, but and you were a good fighter. Uh,
Thank
what
you. Thank you.
what took you out of boxing?
I when I decided I didn't want to fight anymore. I think it was after I fought Nico in the second fight, the NABF title.
Uh,
Um, and I'm just telling you, I'm answering the question. I really thought I won that fight, and when I lost a majority decision, because I had a headbutt, and it wasn't an intentional headbutt. He headbutted in the first of all, in the third round I hit him with a left hook. I cut his eye. In the fourth round we butt heads, and he cut my eye. It wasn't intentional. um but they stopped the fight, and they went to the points. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't want to win this way. And then all of a sudden, they gave him a majority decision. I'm like, what? And the news the next day was saying that I won the fight. But that fight made me go, I'm tired of fighting now. I don't want to fight no more. And, and, um, and then that was it. But I love boxing. I think boxing is the greatest sport that ever existed, and better than. Now, I don't take anything away from MMA guys. Those guys are tough guys. Those guys are great athletes. They're tough fighters. They're wonderful and amazing. But boxing is the best sport that ever existed. That's just my opinion.
you know what? When I started as a reporter at Telemundo back in Tucson, Cochito, what's his name? He was the Olympic guy in for Mexico in 1968. Cochito, I forgot his last name. He invited me to
Mhm.
his gym. I know it doesn't look like it right now, but I did box with him for a little bit, and it was the training is just amazing. And I recommend, like, now I'm in baseball broadcasting. Some parents come to me and ask me, what should I do for my kid? I mean, I didn't play baseball in the pros, and I tell them, have your kids either box, wrestle, and run cross country. By the time
Yeah.
baseball season comes, they'll be
Oh
you
yeah,
know
they'll be ready.
the best shape, yeah, to play any sport, even
Right.
baseball. So you're
Right.
right. In boxing, I mean, you know this better than I. We trained in rounds, like 3 rounds of
Right.
this, 3 rounds of that. by the time an hour goes by, you're drenched in sweat. You're like, what I do? But you did so many things that you know. So now I show off with my nephews because they don't think I can
Hmm.
jump rope to it, and I go all crazy. They're like,
Nice, nice, nice.
no, that's pretty cool. So then you go from there, from boxing. Then what was your next step? What did you think? Did you go into radio right away, media, or what did you do?
I did a lot of different things, but I've always been a funny person, but I've always been funny in private. I was very shy. I had stage fright. I never thought I would ever do comedy. And then I started in Tucson at Last Comedy Club. I went to an open mic, and then I went to a couple open mics. I did about three open mics, and then the only reason I liked that was because I could hang out with comedians.
Mhm.
I didn't think I could be a comedian ever. I just thought I want to be friends with comedians, and if I do open mics, they will let me be the friend, right? So I did that. Then my second marriage ended. It went down to the basic living in my car. Things were really bad. So I went to the comedy club because I was broke, and I knew they would let me in free because I did open mics. And when I was at the comedy club, watching other comedians just to make myself feel better, I realized I could change my life. I can start all over again. And I go, you know what? I'm going to be a comedian. And that was it. That was the decision I made that day, and that was 32 over probably over 32 years ago. And I don't regret it. I've traveled all over the world. I've done amazing things because of it. I was able to buy my mom her first home. I've done a lot of good things because of it, and it was the best decision I ever made, and it came from bad decisions. So for everyone listening or watching right now, you can make some bad decisions. You can have a really bad, going through some bad stuff, but you can easily turn that around and make that work for you.
No, yeah, yes. I read a little bit about your story, and it is amazing. That's why I wanted to talk to you for a long time because, you know, yes, an education will give you the basis, to go ahead. But I guess no matter what you do, it's in oneself to want to do better. That's when I think things start to change when you really want to do something better. Um, when I saw you at the when I would see you at at the Walker House in Tucson, were you working for the radio station in promotions, or what was
Yeah.
that a gig that you were doing?
Yeah, a lot of, we did, they call them remotes, right? So we do remotes and this, that, the other thing. A couple times I just tried to put comedy shows together so I could have some place to perform. It was just different times, So it was, it was just like when you're a comedian, when you first starting, you just want to get on a stage. You need any stage. I would do karaoke just so I could do comedy instead of karaoke, as long as I had a microphone. So I just always wanted to get on that microphone and tell jokes. And sometimes they were great and sometimes they weren't. And it was just go with it.
No, no, it's amazing. People are sending comments here, and so you can see that they're actually watching us, and so uh,
I'm gonna
eh,
put my glasses on so I can read them.
you can
Because
read it.
I'm at that age now. I gotta read. I need my glasses to
That's why I don't
read.
take them off because I
Jake Paul is a smart businessman. Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that.
yeah. So yeah. And so my wife Larissa says, "Oh my God, too
Puerto
bad I can't
Rico.
request a selfie." No, but I remember very well, Joey, that yeah, I got to see you on those on that stage in regards to what it was with the radio station Tejano 1600. And then what was your first break? I mean, I know you moved to LA, and what made you move to LA? And then right away you were in the big stage, man.
Yeah, well, I prepared for that really, but I moved to LA because I knew I had to move somewhere. I knew I had to make a difference, right? I had to do something different. Just couldn't stay in Tucson. I didn't want to be a big fish in a little pond. So one of the places I was going to move to was Houston, Texas,
Uh-huh.
because I figured Houston, Texas is in the center of America. I could
Correct.
fly anywhere from there. And I love their food and I love crawfish. So I was like, I love Houston, right? So, but then I ended up, I go, you know what? I really want to get into show business as well. I want to act and hopefully one day direct and do this and that. So I decided to move to LA. So I moved to LA with like $600. And when I got there, my car broke down. $500. I needed to fix it, and it was just I had $100 left. And but luckily, I got booked on some military shows right around the exact same time. So I went to Japan and Korea for the very first time in my life, and I made some, I had some money, so I could thank God, so I could eat. You know what I mean? And so it just sometimes you just got to just jump into what you want to do and you got to pray that it works out, and you got to, and do what you got to do.
Hey, and then you were invited to the Latin Kings of Comedy.
Yeah, yeah, that was the biggest thing that's happened in my career.
Wow, that was pretty
Absolutely.
cool, man. That was neat. I remember watching that, and it's like, man, I know that guy. Some really, I was very proud, man. It's one of the things
Thank
that you
you.
and make you smile, and then that's a classic. I mean, because it's still even kids like my daughter still talks about it.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't remember this, but the Latin Kings of Comedy was actually in movie theaters before it was anywhere else. It was in movie theaters. It went straight to movies, and then not only a handful of comedians in the world could ever say that, and so that was great. And then after movies, it went on Showtime. Then after Showtime, it was on Comedy Central. And then, of course, every Latino bootleg the DVD. So there's a million bootleg
We don't,
DVDs of Latin Kids of Comedy out there.
we don't do that. What are you talking about?
Oh my God, I signed so many blank ones, and I always sign them. You owe me $20, Joey Medina. but it's all good, man. I was very happy that I was part of that. I was very lucky and blessed, and I won't change any of that forever for anything.
Now you have produced and you have written some stuff, and you've won various awards in short films and also the festival, the film festival. I read somewhere that you, since you were in junior high, you liked writing, and then one when you were at that age, you said one day I want to write in a script and I want to be in the movies or I want to produce something. You got to do it, man.
Yeah, yeah. So in third grade, actually, I they put me in creative writing class because I would take the stories they would read us and I would rewrite them and make them funnier, and I would make them a different story. Like I did Goldie. Uh, Not Goldilocks. Yeah, I guess. Go yeah, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, right, or whatever. I made it into Coolie Locks, and I made it an urban thing. And I remember, so they put me in third grade. They put me in creative writing, and then I hate writing because I have ADD, so I hate writing, but I love writing at the same time. So it's really weird. And I've written many scripts. I've written TV shows. I've written movies. Um, I wrote for a game show. I'm an award-winning writer. I've written many award. I've written many scripts. Have won awards. I've won many awards for directing. I've won many awards for producing. Um, and I tend to be a very creative person. So I love making things happen. That's kind of my thing. And I just finished a movie last week, and I'm editing it this week, and I can't wait till it's done. I put my dog in the movie because I wanted her to live on forever. So it's the first movie she's ever been in, and she killed it. She did great because her dad's a great director. So you know, but yeah, that kind of thing.
So what's that like? What's that like to just wake up and say, gosh, I realized my dream. I've done this, I've done that, and talk to the military abroad, like you said, in Japan and the Middle East, and what's that like? What's it like waking up as Joy Medina?
well, well, I'm at the age now. You wake up, everything hurts. The sounds I used to make in bed, now I make getting out of bed. And so it's like, um, that's Joey Medina. But No, you know what? I try to keep myself busy. I have a lot of things going on. Um, I've got my dog, I've got my girlfriend, I've got my career, I've got my dreams that I'm still pursuing. I've got I have a life, but I'm at the age now that I'm like, I know I'm at the end of my movie, right? My movie is I'm in the third act of my movie. It's coming to the end. So I'm just trying to do as many things as I can. I'm trying to, hopefully touch people in the most positive ways possible. And that's it.
And Diana Armenta from Saltillo, Coahuila says hello, así que te están viendo desde México.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, well, you know what? No, it's great, man. It's great that you get to feel that way. But you know what? I like you to invite me to one of your movies, man. Being at Telemundo, I have a lot of friends who are cameramen or and they write movies and they write short movies and they put them in. So I was invited once to be in a movie. So I'm like, okay, I'll be in the movie. So I was a taquero. I was a
Oh,
taquero.
that's cool.
But wait, I was even in the poster. Francisco Romero in the movie. I was only there
That's
like
cool.
for 4 seconds, dude.
Hey man,
4 seconds in the movie.
I trust me. I've been in many movies for 4 seconds. You're lucky. I've been in many that are 3 seconds. So you have one more second than I do.
So next time Joey Medina writes a movie, I want to be, I don't know, a bodyguard or something. Just let me
Hey,
know.
okay, you got it.
So I was there like for 4 seconds, man. It was like starting and they showed it in Tucson somewhere. And I'm like, oh man, that's cool. but it's cool. So what do you tell all those kids who, like you said, sometimes nowadays, I think when we were growing up, we didn't have many how do you say it? Psychiatrists or people or that we would go to. Now it's like a thing, to have your own life coach or something. We didn't
Well,
have
look,
those
if you can afford a life coach, if you can afford a therapist,
stuff.
God
There
bless you,
you
good
go.
for you. If you can't, you have to learn to be your own, man. You have to read the right things, try to speak to the right people. Um, I had a friend when I grew up as a kid, when I was 12 years old till he passed away. His name was Dave Valentine. He was a jazz musician. He taught me a lot of things. He taught me so much. He was a surrogate father to me at the time. So um, for the kids that are out there, everything you want to learn is out there. But don't learn. Can you curse on the show?
Yeah, yeah, I think on the show.
Don't learn bullshit because there's a lot of bullshit out there. Learn good things. Learn if it feels good to you, if someone is speaking to you or speaking and the information they're giving feels good, then it's probably the good thing. If it feels evil, it feels mean, it's a bad thing. Um be a good person for the people out there. Think about other people. Be kind and just go for your dreams. I don't care what it is. You can do it. If you want to be a filmmaker, grab your phone and make a little movie with your film. If you want to be an athlete, do that. Just start working out. The thing is, never give up. Always believe in yourself. And if other people don't believe in you, don't worry. Use that as fuel so you can do better. Do that as fuel so you can believe in yourself. The only one that matters is you believe in you. Doesn't matter if anybody else believes it. It's good if our family and our loved ones believe in us, but we don't need it to be successful. Because trust me, the second you're successful, they'll start believing in you.
Exactly. There's a lot of things that you can control, and once you get a past certain stage, you can control your destiny. At least you can direct it
Yeah.
in a positive way. Lisa Lopez says, "Are you still in LA?" Yeah, he's still in
Yes, I'm
LA.
still in LA, Lisa.
And one of the things, Joey, is that uh, sometimes people confuse you with being a Mexican, and even
Yeah.
I think your accent, your Puerto Rican accent, is probably no longer there, living in Arizona for so many years. So, and a lot of your jokes, a lot of your uh, what you say on stage is about Mexican funerals, weddings, and Mexican stuff. So, how does that? I mean, I know it fits well, but I mean, I guess you could say you're part Mexican.
Yeah, absolutely. I moved. I already said my age. I'm 59 now. I moved to Tucson 40 years ago when I was 19. And so I'm kind of a Mexican now, right? I have the culture. Like I love the Mexican culture. I love Mexican people. They are my people, and I feel like I'm their people. And I was born and raised Puerto Rican. I love being Puerto Rican. I love being an American. I also love being and sharing the Mexican culture. Mexican people are some of the most beautiful, wonderful, hardworking people on the face of this universe. And if anyone ever says anything negative about Mexican people, I would be the first person to defend them.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, yeah, we treat you as a Mexican too, but the
Yeah,
Puerto Rican. I mean, you're body mix.
yeah. I mean, dude, I love menudo. Come on, man.
I heard a joke about menudo. You said
I
menudo looks
love
the same.
menudo. What are you talking about? I love
Menudo
menudo.
looks the same way. Hey, Joy, let's say thanks to our sponsors here. All right, uh,
Yes.
Charro.com. Ray Flores does a great job in Tucson. I don't know if you ever met Ray, and
Mhm.
he has his Charro cafe in Charro, and he's the one who caters to Arizona athletics. He also says Charro Chico. So visit
Mhm.
charrochico.com, get all the menu. Visit Ray, please visit him. He does a lot of things, a lot of good things for the community. Also,
Nice.
Juan Alanis making connections. Follow him on. Now, if you need someone to talk to, Juan Alanis specializes in marriage counseling. So,
No.
Juan
Oh,
Alanis,
too.
so
You
get his
know,
number,
too
Joy.
late. Too late now. I should have met him 3 marriages ago.
Oh, so you know what? You really believe in marriage, huh?
Yeah.
Also, Wendy Rodriguez for all your immigration questions. Call Wendy Rodriguez. She also does injury law. So Wendy Rodriguez is
Nice.
the valley. And if you go back to Tucson, call Mauro Gonzalez, and buy a car. Mauro used to play at a lot of the events that Radio Fiesta used to have.
Oh,
And
nice. And I will be back, Francisco. I will be back in Tucson January 17th and 18th at the Last Comedy Club.
also you'll be performing. Okay,
Yes,
cool.
sir.
I'll tell Mauro to go get you a car and get you there.
Yeah. Oh, nice, nice.
Also, La Cosecha, Tulsa. Fíjate, La Cosecha, it's a couple from Magdalena who live in Tulsa now.
Mhm.
They were successful in their business, and now they have this nonprofit, and they feed the homeless, and they feed
That's
people who are,
beautiful.
yeah. They started giving away, I think, sandwiches in a little bag, and now they have the nonprofit, and they do a lot of great things. And also, BK Tacos in Tucson. I'm sure you've been there before.
Of
Uh,
course, delicious, delicious food.
BK Tacos and Burritos con nuestro amigo Benny and Cesar Morales. If you want to get rid of your home or your lot, he'll pay you cash for your business, for your lot. And also, I don't know if you like puros cigars. These are made in
Oh, I
Obregón,
totally
Sonora.
love cigars.
We gotta get you some of Pedro Moreno's cigars. He
All
makes
right,
them.
then let's go there. Does he have a lounge or did he just do the cigars?
Oh, he does a cigar. He is in Sonora, in Obregón.
Hmm.
But
Oh, okay.
tell me the date again, and I can have him send you a little pack to.
January 17th and 18th. I'll be in
Okay, yeah,
Tucson for sure.
perfect. And so those are our sponsors. We really want to thank them because without them we couldn't do this, and we couldn't have Joey Medina with us. But Joey, it's great having you here. And tell me what's life in LA now for you with all this little well, I don't want to say little project, but with all these projects that you do. Uh, are you say you'll be in Tucson, but do you have a tour schedule coming up or what's going on?
Yeah, I do a lot of, working everywhere. I'm doing I'm opening up for Russell Peters in Coachella this weekend. I'm also doing a couple other shows this weekend. I work on cruise ships. I'm directing my movies, so I'm always busy, thank God. Because I don't go to the gym anymore, so I need something to keep me busy.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
I need to go. I always say I need to go find a gym, a boxing gym, here
Yeah.
in Houston. There's a one about 4 blocks from my house, but I always just, you know,
You found one and you're like,
I found.
it's 4 blocks, it's too far. I need one closer.
Now I tell you a story. In Phoenix, I used to train at, I think it's called Central Boxing. You've been there
Mhm.
before? I
I think so, possibly, yeah.
yeah. So I used to go and do the news at 2 o'clock in the afternoon to go to the station for the 5 o'clock news. So I would go to the gym, train boxing for around 10 in the morning, and
Mhm.
sometimes check this out. It was just Mike Tyson and I waiting for the owner to open the gym,
Oh,
and
wow.
and I never. I mean, I was kind of shy. I would just say hi to him, but I never started a conversation with him. I'm like, I'm so dumb not doing that because it was just there. So they would open the door for us, and it was just Mike
Mhm.
Tyson and I training in the gym. I would just
Nice, nice.
yeah, so that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. So in Tucson in January, what else can you tell people from Tucson or LA? And is that your next show, or you got something before that?
No, no, I got a lot of things before that, but people can follow if they follow me on Instagram,
Uh huh.
Joey Medina Comic. One word, Joey Medina Comic. I put all my stuff on Instagram. I put some stuff on Facebook too, but I'm like, I'm bored of Facebook already. I'm gonna get rid of Twitter because it's owned by a crazy person. But but I'm definitely still on Instagram, Joey Medina Comic, and people can follow me on there.
And before you leave, just l- tell us where you get your inspiration. I know I've seen a lot of your shows, and I kind of figure out where you get your inspiration. But what when you're writing a script for a show, what's like you base it on different themes, of course. But what's the main inspiration for your
Well,
writing?
my comedy is different. When I write for my comedy, anything inspires me, right? Everything and anything. And I put it on stage and I try to be as funny as possible. But as far as my movies or my scripts, I like drama. I like things that are emotional. I write a lot of things about the LGBT community. I write things about racism. I write things about stuff that makes people feel, you know. So um, those are the things I love writing and directing. I love those kind of things. I love movies that make people cry because I want them to feel something, So it's weird because as a comedian, you would think all I want to do is comedy, but it's the opposite. I want to do more dramatic, emotional things, and that's the type of stuff that I make.
Well, Joey, well, good stuff, man. Good luck on everything you do coming up, and hopefully we'll see you in Houston. If you come to Houston during the baseball season, we'll be happy to have you as my guest at Minute Maid Park. Oh, it's gonna
Oh,
change
I
later.
love to. I love to.
Yeah, I don't know if you like baseball or not. I don't know if you're a Yankee or a Met, but
I'm not. I really am. It's funny because this year the it was the Yankees versus the Dodgers, right? So I'm fans of both, but I'm a little more of a fan of the Yankees. So I was hoping the Yankees would win, but I was still very happy when the Dodgers won. So I'm like, I win either way. It's like having two hot chicks fight over you. Like you're still gonna win. You know what I mean? So it's
and it
like.
happens to you all the time. I know that.
Yeah. So it's like, it's okay. But um, but I'm very much the kind of person I'm in the moment. Like, I don't like professional reports that much. Like, I don't watch them, but I would love going to the events. I love going to live baseball games. I love going to live football games, basketball games, because you're in the moment, and I love sharing that energy, and I love watching, and I love rooting, and so yeah, please, next time I'm in Houston, I definitely want to go to one of the games.
I won't promise you this, but I'll try and get you to throw out the first pitch.
Oh my God, that would be awesome, dude. That would be awesome.
That's about my pay grade a little bit, but
Okay, and you never know.
you never know exactly. So
Let me know who they have planned, and I'll try to like lock them in a room or something so they can't do it, and then I'll do it.
but we'll try. When I know the date,
Okay,
tell me.
all
I'll
right.
go and talk to some people. See
Dude,
which,
I would fly to Houston just for that.
really.
So
Let
hell
me let,
yeah.
let me ask then. I'll ask.
Okay, literally, I would fly to Houston just for that.
Okay, I will ask, and if we can make it happen, let's
Oh my
make it
God, that would be amazing.
get you to throw
And
out
I
the.
would probably look like a moron, but
Hey, it's the first pitch.
it's the first pitch.
What's being on stage doing comedy and boxing? You have people around you. Is what are the similarities or and the differences? I know it's one sport and the other one's entertainment, but
They're identical. They're identical,
Is it real?
Francisco, because and I've said this many, many times in my life. Comedy and boxing are very similar. It's all mental games. In boxing, it's you against the opponent. In comedy, it's you against the audience. And just like um, in boxing, you can hit your opponent with your best punch, and they just look at you, and you're like, "Uh oh." Same thing in comedy. You could do your best joke, and the audience doesn't laugh, and you're like, "Uh oh." It's exactly mentally is exactly the same thing. And there, trust me, there have been times I've never ever wanted anyone to throw in the towel when I boxed. But in comedy, I've wanted someone to throw in the towel many, many
Is
times.
that right?
So yeah. So I was like, please help, let's be over. I don't want to do it no more. You know?
You know what? I have to confess something. I broadcast the games on radio. I've been on TV for a long time,
Mhm.
but being an MC is not really my thing. It gets you nervous. It's like
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
I feel the same way as you do. I want to hide the mic and just run,
Yeah.
and then sometimes I want to repeat myself because I don't think people listen.
Yeah. It's just, it's just depends. It's one of those things you just gotta be like, okay. I had a great day or I had a bad day, you move on.
Exactly. Okay, before we go, Lisa Lopez says, I thought you were one of us. Mexican.
I'm sorry, Lisa. I hope I didn't disappoint you.
uh, Lydia says, saludos. My wife is laughing. I don't know why, what you said that she's laughing. Uh,
Me either.
so my wife says, what is your favorite plan when you're in Tucson, or what do you do? I guess. What do you? I guess what's the favorite? What's your favorite thing to do in Tucson?
Oh, good. First of all, honestly, my favorite thing to do in Tucson is spending time with my kids. I have two sons
Ah,
who live in Tucson, and I have four grandchildren that live there, and seeing them and spending time with them is my favorite thing to do. Secondly, I love, I go to the old stores, old restaurants, and um, hang out with people and meet new people and then perform. Laughs Comedy Club is the first place I ever, ever, ever did comedy. So
wow.
anytime I go back and I perform there, it's just, I remember, I feel, you know what I mean? It's just like being with the first person you ever slept with, or being with senior teacher for the first time, back your elementary school teacher now is in adult. It's just being at the comedy club that I first opened or first started doing comedy in is always beautiful and amazing to me.
And repeat your yeah. No, I bet it's a great feeling, and I've been in Labs a couple times, and it's and Telemundo was just across the street from it,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
so I'm glad you have that feel because Tucson is a very special place, and like
It is very much.
I was mentioning the sponsors, people like Ray Flores makes it. People like you,
Someone's asking for the Instagram. The Instagram is Joey Medina Comic.
Joey
Joey
Medina.
Medina Comic.
So there it is. So you can follow Joey Medina. Well, hopefully we made some new fans here for you.
Hope
But
so.
but again, Joey, thank you very much for being with us. Hopefully it's not the last time. And for sure, let me know when you come to Houston. We'll make sure, or I can, if I make it happen, I'll just let you know you can fly to
If
throw
you
that.
make it happen, I will fly to Houston and I will do that with honors and I'll get me some crawfish, hopefully.
And we'll get you on the air to do a little
Yes.
bit of broadcasting in Spanish.
Oh God. Then I'll make people laugh for reals. My Spanish is horrible.
You gotta practice your home run call.
Yes, yes.
What do you
I'll
leave
just
us?
say goal the whole time.
You would. ¿Con qué nos deja? What do you leave us with, Joy? What are your final thoughts on this podcast that
Uh,
we
well,
like?
I want to thank you very much for having me on your show. Um, it was fun talking to you again and seeing you. And I just want to tell the people that are out there, enjoy your life. Life is short. We can, something bad can happen to all of us tomorrow. So live your life well. Be kind to one another, even if it's convenient. And tomorrow, or even after you watch this, call someone that you love that you haven't talked to in a while and tell them that you love them.
Thank you,
That's
Joy.
it.
That's a great message. And again, thanks for being with us. It's an honor, and I really enjoyed watching you grow as an entertainer from
And my
two
weight.
That happens to all of us. All right, and I'll tell. I gotta have you and Nico Perez in one of these podcasts.
Oh yeah.
Maybe do a
Number
little,
3, the third rematch.
that'll be a sumo wrestling.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Jay. Well, thank
No, I
you.
love Nico. Tell Nico I love him, and I hope he's doing well.
I will tell Nico. We talk to him all the time. He's always saying, "Compa." So I'll tell him I'll talk to you. Okay, Jay, well, thank you very much, and hopefully we'll have you again. And if we get that first pitch, I'll shoot you a throwing, and we'll make a big deal out of it. All
Oh,
right.
that'll be great. Yeah, I'd be very excited for that.
All right.
That'll be
Thanks for-
that'll be my new favorite team.
All right. Perfect. We'll get you a nice uniform.
Yeah, I'm easily manipulated. I'll go either way.
All right. Enjoy. Well, thank
Thanks
you
a
very
lot,
much.
brother.
Gracias a todos por acompañarnos. Esto fue Beyond the Mic Podcast. Más allá del micrófono with on behalf of Joy Medina. My name is Francisco Romero. Until next time.